Let's go Ravens! What if I told you the Ravens might be one step away from completely changing the course of this season, and it's a change no one is taking seriously enough right now? There's something happening behind the scenes that could significantly impact this team and, if it works, could solve one of the biggest problems we've faced in years. But before we get into the details, don't forget to like this post if you truly believe in this team. And I want to see you in the comments, write loud and proud. I trust this team and we're going all the way. Now let's get straight into it. We're hearing directly from inside the situation that Jadeveon Clowney himself has expressed something that should immediately grab your attention. He talked about his time in Baltimore with clear appreciation. He highlighted the defensive culture, the pride that the Ravens carry on that side of the ball, and most importantly, the locker room environment. He made it clear that the group of players, the leadership, and the respect for the game inside that building left a strong impression on him. And here's where it gets even more interesting. He didn't close the door. In fact, he opened it. Clowney stated that he would absolutely be open to returning to Baltimore. Not only that, but he specifically mentioned the opportunity to play alongside Lamar Jackson again as something positive, something appealing. That's not just a casual comment. That's a signal. Now let's talk production, because this isn't just about emotions or nostalgia. When Clowney was with the Ravens, he delivered 9.5 sacks. And if you think that's just a decent number, look at what he did most recently. Even in a limited role, not even as a full-time starter, he still managed to put up 8.5 sacks and 24 tackles. That's high-level efficiency. So imagine this scenario, a player who has already proven he can thrive in Baltimore's system, returning with experience, still producing at a high level, and now potentially fitting into a defensive unit that still has questions beyond its top names. Because let's be honest, after the primary pass rushers, there are uncertainties. There are developing players, there are rotations to figure out, and there's a need for consistency. Bringing back someone like Clowney wouldn't take away opportunities, it would stabilize the rotation. It would elevate the entire defensive front. And here's another key layer to this story, the new defensive direction. With changes in coaching and scheme coming into play, this is a moment where the Ravens are redefining how they attack offenses. Adding a familiar, proven piece during that transition could be exactly what this defense needs. But the biggest detail that Ravens fans cannot ignore? Lamar Jackson himself reportedly supports the idea. When asked about bringing Clowney back, the response was simple and direct, definitely. That matters a lot, because when your franchise quarterback, your leader, your MVP caliber player gives that kind of endorsement, it sends a message to the front office. It adds weight to the conversation. It turns a possibility into something much more real. At the same time, this all comes during a period where Ravens fans are balancing excitement with caution. There's optimism around the new coaching staff, especially with the energy and confidence being shown publicly. But there's also hesitation. Fans have been here before, high expectations, strong rosters, and seasons that didn't end the way they should have. That's why moves like this feel different. It's not just about adding talent, it's about making the right moves. Moves that make sense. Moves that fit the identity of the team. And bringing Clowney back? On paper, in production, in locker room chemistry, it checks a lot of boxes. So now the question shifts from should this happen, to will the Ravens actually make the call? Because the opportunity is there. The interest is there. The endorsement is there. The only thing left is action. And this is where things get even more intense. Because if you really zoom out and look at everything happening around the Ravens right now, this isn't just about one player potentially returning. This is about timing, direction, and whether this front office is truly ready to make aggressive, smart moves to push this team over the top. Because let's not forget, this team is close. Very close. There's a strong belief internally and among fans that the Ravens already have a roster capable of competing at the highest level. The issue hasn't always been talent. It's been execution, adjustments, and sometimes even decisions at the coaching level that held this team back in critical moments. Now, with a new coaching staff stepping in, there's a sense that things could finally shift. There's fresh energy, a new voice, and a different approach being introduced. People around the league are already talking about it, praising the confidence and the ideas coming from this new regime. But as we all know, saying the right things in interviews is one thing, delivering on the field is something else entirely. And that's why moves like potentially bringing back Clowney become even more important. Because when you combine a new system with players who already understand the Ravens culture, who already know what it takes to perform in that environment, you reduce risk. You create stability during change. And that can be the difference between a defense that struggles early and one that dominates from the start. At the same time, there's another layer to all of this that can't be ignored, the mindset of the fan base. Ravens fans have been through a lot over the past several seasons. There's been hype, there's been belief, and there's been heartbreak, over and over again. And because of that, expectations have become more controlled, more cautious. People still believe, but they're not ready to go all in emotionally until they see results. So when a move like this is even discussed, fans don't just look at the name, they analyze the impact. They ask, does this actually get us closer to a Super Bowl? And if you look at it from that perspective, bringing back a proven pass rusher who already succeeded in your system, who still produces at a high level even in limited roles, and who has the backing of your franchise quarterback, it starts to feel less like a gamble and more like a calculated move. Now let's talk about the bigger picture defensively. One of the recurring issues highlighted has been inconsistency on defense, especially in big moments. There have been games where the unit didn't generate enough pressure, didn't create turnovers, and didn't make the stops needed to win at the highest level. That's where someone like Clowney fits perfectly. He's not just a sack number guy. He disrupts plays, he applies pressure, and he forces offenses to adjust. And when you add that kind of presence into a rotation that already includes emerging talent and key contributors, it raises the entire ceiling of the defense. And don't overlook this either. The Ravens are still evaluating their roster, still looking at the draft, still considering other free agency moves. There are needs in the trenches, both defensive and offensive, and there's a clear understanding that building strength up front is essential for this team to reach the next level. So the decision here isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a bigger plan. But sometimes, the best moves are the ones that are right in front of you. A player who wants to return, a locker room that respects him, a quarterback who supports him, a system where he already produced. Everything lines up. Now it's just about whether the Ravens front office is ready to act decisively and bring him back where, in many ways, it already feels like he belongs. And if you're still here with me, then you already understand, this offseason isn't just another routine stretch for the Baltimore Ravens. This is a defining moment. This is where decisions are going to shape not just the roster, but the identity of this team moving forward. Because everything we've talked about, Clowney's openness to return, Lamar Jackson's approval, the need for more consistency on defense, the arrival of a new coaching staff, it all connects. This isn't random. This is a crossroads. And let's take it one step deeper. There's been a lot of discussion about what this team truly needs to finally break through. Some say it's about the offense evolving. Others point to the trenches. But when you really analyze the recent shortcomings, especially in the most important games, one thing keeps showing up. The defense hasn't always delivered when it mattered most. Not consistently enough. And that's why a move like bringing back Clowney isn't just about adding depth. It's about sending a message. A message that the Ravens are serious about fixing what's been holding them back. A message that they're not going to rely solely on potential or hope, but on proven production. Because let's be real, how many times have we seen this team come into a season with high expectations, only to fall short due to details that could have been addressed earlier? That's what makes this moment different. There's awareness now. There's urgency. And there's also pressure. Pressure on the front office to make the right calls. Pressure on the coaching staff to maximize this roster. And yes, pressure on Lamar Jackson. Because as much as the roster, coaching, and front office matter, at the end of the day, this is still a quarterback-driven league. And there's a growing sentiment that with everything being reset, the coaching staff, the system, the approach, this is the moment where Lamar has to take full control and lead this team all the way. No more transitions. No more adjustments. Just results. And that's why every single move around him matters even more. If you give him a stronger defense, if you give him more support in key moments, if you eliminate the weaknesses that have cost this team in the past, then there are no more barriers.